Hello and welcome. I am going to do something. When I first started tarot, I didn't know how people could read for so long, for hours on end. I realized that I can. I want to say that the messages that I deliver are very powerful. They're not my messages. I'm a conduit. And those who are supposed to receive the message will receive it. And I've also been ushered into attempting to make my messages shorter for a season, though, not forever, but for a season. So I'm going to try and do that. I did get a few new decks, so I will be doing a few more deck reviews coming up. But I hope that you're all well. So today is the new moon in Leo. New moons are about new cycles, new beginnings, new ways of doing things, new perspectives. And in some ways, new illumination. Maybe you see problems in a new way. You've changed your position with regards to something. And so we are working with the Moonology deck, Queen of the Moon Oracle, to bring out what it is that you are to focus on for the new moon in Leo. So I've already prayed over this space. It's a holy space. I've already thanked both Mother and Father God. And I'm grateful to be here being used in this capacity. I want to let you know, I don't come on every day. I'm not that type of reader. My gifting is from God, and so I move when I'm told to move. So as much as I understand that the algorithm is requires a level of consistency, I cannot promise that, which is why you'll see that I have videos that are high and low, because that's just what it is. And I would encourage you actually to go back to some of my earlier messages, or the messages that don't have the highest views. It's not because they're not good. I gotta say, they're excellent. And the way the cards come out, like, as much as I'm doing the reading for you, I am watching the reading unfold. And it blows my mind. It blows my mind. So here we go. All right. I just thank you. Thank you for using me in this way, providing. Providing answers. It is a new moon in Leo. What would you have my subscriber know at this time? What is it that you wish to illuminate for them? You're going to be dropping a lot of bad habits, that I could say. Things that have not been helpful to you on your journey. You're just going to shut. Oh, look. That's one. There we go. Growth. Can you see that? Am I even in frame? Growth. So there's a world. These roots are planted. They are firm. They are protective. I don't know if you could see, but here there's a clock. She's holding a timepiece. You've been going through something that requires, I guess, a level of patience. If I do that, can you see that? I think so. I hope so. A level of patience has been required from you. This growth hasn't always been enjoyable, but it has helped to firm you up and give you a foundation of sorts. You're rooted in ways, I believe the things that you had to cope with, you're rooted in ways that have been beneficial to you, but the things that once served you don't necessarily serve you now. It's a different time. There's a changing of the guard. There's a changing of an internal season for you, not the seasons like, winter, spring, summer, or fall necessarily. And when I say that, I mean, It could be a winter, spring, summer, and fall for you internally, but it doesn't necessarily match up with the worldly calendar. There's a world inside of you already. Maybe I should put it like this for now, for the time being. Oh. You're giving birth to something. I just noticed at the bottom of this card, if you can see it, there's a nest. You know, when chickens or birds or penguins lay eggs, they nest on them. They sit with them. They care for them. They nurture them. They help them grow. What has come to me is, what have you been thinking about while you've been sitting on this egg, while it's been nesting? Because that is being transferred into this new experience, into this new opportunity, into this new moment for you, be it relationship, business, employment, travel, relocation, a spiritual birthing, a mental clarity, finances. Something is about to hatch in your life. I feel when I look at this card, you're both eager and there's a sense of intrepidation. Give me one moment. I am super hot. Super hot. I want to put the fan on, but I'm worried it will interfere with the audio. I'm not sure if that will be helpful. Let's try this. All right, hopefully you can hear me over this. So back to this. Change is afoot, is really what this is. Change is afoot. So I'm going to read what this is. And look, it's card number 5, by the way. And 5 is representative of the Hierophant. 5 in the tarot numerically is representative of change. All right, what do we have here? It says here, reject stagnancy. All of a sudden it's gotten darker. It's about to rain, I think. Reject stagnancy. To get unstuck, take action. The choice to grow should be made. Expect growing pains when making huge changes in your life. Change is a natural part of life and cannot be pushed against forever. Change should have aim and purpose. Be courageous and you will blossom. It says to think of a willow tree. Willows often grow on sandy banks, highly shiftable and changeable rivers, yet they reach huge sizes. You know, the willow tree is one of my favorites. So if this is the beginning of a willow tree, that's so interesting. Like, take note of the strength and the pattern and the thickness of the roots, the foundational structure, right? The ecosystem. This here is a method of communication, okay? This is nutrient based. So what have you been feeding yourself while you yourself have been growing and nurturing something and waiting for it to hatch? I gotta put this down. I can't do all these several things at once. Okay. So it says here, so even though they're on shifty banks, changing rivers, they seem to grow inevitably huge. And the question is, successfully growing and holding fast in an unpredictable habitat. How do they do this? When you see a young willow on the banks for a long while, it just looks like a feeble stick. It may have a few branches and leaves, but at first the trunk will be fine and flexible rather than robust. What we don't see immediately, look at that. I didn't even read this. What you don't see immediately is the root base. The willow spends a lot of time establishing a veritable root city. Oh, I love that, root city, under the surface. These roots are long and strong and very numerous, finding their way into many nooks and crannies, holding on to rocks, other established tree roots, and anything that can help with stability. What have you attached yourself to that you think, or that has perhaps helped with your stability at one point in time, but may not be serving you now? Don't forget, this is a trajectory of growth, okay? That is what is happening here. Growth. All right. It says that the roots will go in all directions, securing their position just in case the earth begins to shift. Then and only then, once these root networks are established well enough, does the willow put its energy into further growth. Do you understand that? There are stages and levels to this. So first you come as a seed full of potential. Then you are planted, and hopefully planted in the right environment. Because if you don't get the right amount of sun, the right amount of water, the right amount of nutrients, you will atrophy. You will not grow to your fullest potential. And so in this period of establishment, I'm talking to you, I'm not even reading the book. In this period of establishment, okay, you are grabbing on to a number of things, be it ideologies, people, old relationships, proclivities, habits, whatever it is, to give you sure footing. Once you feel sure enough, then you get back to the business of exploring the firmament around you, the earth around you. Ooh, the firmament is not really earth, but it is a part of the heavens. Not sure why that slipped out, but you know, maybe that'll come out later. Okay. I'm hearing that I probably said firmament because the roots are about being grounded, and firmament is it above the heavens? Hold on, firmament. It's almost in a way like a shield is what I understand it to be. It's like the heavens, it's the sky. And so here's the thing, as the seed, you're rooted to establish yourself so that you are firmly planted, so that you then have the base and the stability to grow upwards towards the firmament. The firmament is also a shield that you too then need to break through, because the heavens, there's more beyond the heavens. It's not just the heavens and that's it. As I said at the beginning of this reading, there's layers to this thing, okay? But the reason why I started talking about the willow and the establishment of the roots is because your leaves, your branches are able to grow to the extent that you are firmly rooted and planted in who you are. And I'm going to say who Mother God and Father God are, and how they're reflected in you, and you taking the time. So in between securing your roots and stretching and growing, then securing your roots and stretching and growing, you're learning about yourself. You're learning about your skills, your abilities, your gifts. You're being put into situations to see how you navigate, to learn how to even navigate it, to know what your root structure needs to hold on to and what you need to bypass, what is good for you and not good for you. You have been in a season of growth. Geez, I'm hearing 5 years. I'm hearing 5 years. Not that you weren't growing before, but I'm hearing 5 years. I'm being told to stop with this and to pick up this. I might have to pick up on this reading because my son has a graduation that I need to start getting ready for it. Nonetheless, this is the energy archaeology. I'll tell you right now, this deck changed my life. It changed my life. This deck talks about your body, your spine, your bones, your fluid, your orbital sockets, I could continue, but I'm going to do a review on this, so I'm going to stop. But this deck, like, I know a lot of people think, oh, tarot, it's, you know, whatever. No. When you use it for an educational tool, when you use it to learn more about yourself, when you use it to allow you to process trauma and healing, when you use it to allow you to illuminate your mind and to receive more information and data and downloads to help you navigate your way on this earth and in the heavenly realms, I'm sorry, I gotta disagree, because tarot filled in the spots for me where the Bible didn't, to be very honest. Tarot serves to me as parables. They're stories, the same way we talk about, I don't know, the prodigal son, or you know, baby Jesus in the manger, or, you know, the 5 loaves of bread and the 2 fish. These stories help to, they provide a luminosity to a situation. And I see these pictures, these cards, as living parables, as an extension of the older parables to present modern day parables. So there is something in here to help illuminate this card. I just want to tell you thank you for this message. I mean, my mind is percolating. Oh, I have two. So this one is dreaming, which is the occipital bone, and I think I said that earlier. And then refinement is the ankles. Woo! Oh my gosh. Do you know what I just got from this? Is it raining? Look at this. I just finished talking to you about the heavenlies, about the firmament, about earth and being grounded. And we get dreaming, which is your headspace, which allows you to go up into, you know, 4, 5, 6D and beyond. And we have ankles. That's the firmament. That is, sorry, not the firmament. That is the grounding of where you are. In relation to this is what I mean. I'm in the middle of a reading and I'm trying to tell you about this card, and I'm told to stop and to move to this new deck that I got that I love, okay? And it is reinforcing and reaffirming this growth story. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm not sure if you're able to see this because of the way that I have the camera. And what's happening out here? It is raining. Great. All right. We're going to go in. We're going to go in. We're going to go in, people. We're going in. We're going in. I hate to know that I got to stop this message. I do. What time is it? 12:51. That light is a little too sharp. What if I go up there? Oh boy, I can feel it. So this deck is so special and unique. I can't even pretend, like, I don't know, like at first I would have said this, like it kind of looks like a living room, if you will, like that's the lamp there, that might be a seat or a bed, but just looking at this, I feel that this is like if you took the skull and let's say your nose was facing that way and this was the back of your head, that this is cut in half, and we may be looking towards like the back of the head. Sorry. We might be looking like, oh, this is going to be good. Whew. Let me get it. Let me get the book. All right. So what is this? Dreaming. All right. So what does it say? It says, in the dreaming, you have permission to be with the wholeness of your humanity. You receive the medicine you need from this place. Oh. So this has to do with life affirming and mystical. When you're in balance, when you're out of balance, it's meaningless and one-dimensional. So it says the occipital bone is a trapezoidal shaped saucer-like bone that forms the back and lower, see I was right, just by the shape of it, the back and the lower parts of the skull. This is one of the bones that fuse with others to form the skull, and its primary function is to house the cerebellum or back of the brain. There is a large oval opening within this bone called the foramen magnum, which is where the spinal cord skull passes. Okay, this hole there, that's the beginning of the vertebrae. This is where the spine passes through into your head. It actually holds your head on your spine, on your body. The occipital bone is part of the cranial energetic pathway, a flow of energy in the skull that moves between the occipital, parietal, frontal, temporal, and sphenoid bones. The skull requires that the occipital, parietal, and frontal bones work in conversation with each other and also with the consciousness and unconscious energies. And I told you here, these roots are about communication. These bones require that they work in tandem, in harmony, in conjunction with the other bones. When one of these bones is restricted or blocked, it will subdue the flow of the others. When one is overactive, it will require the others to respond in the same way. Do you understand that? The bones that support this occipital bone, if any of them are out of balance, meaning they're underperforming, the rest underperform. If they are overperforming, the rest overperform. This is also a call towards balance for you, okay? It's also about you recognizing that there are certain rules that you might have in other people's lives, or the rules that they have in your life. And also that they are mirroring back to you what is going on within you. Not necessarily in the same way, but the lesson might be the same, just being experienced or showing up differently. You understand? What? I'm saying what because here it's talking about trauma, and I mentioned trauma earlier. When things like trauma, repressed memories, fear, judgment, guilt, blame, shame, or similar repress your subconscious energies from communicating with you because that conversation feels unsafe. The flow through the foramen magnum is restricted. And remember we said the foramen magnum is where the spine, so there's a block. Do you have any pain in your upper neck? Oh my God. I'm sorry. I was having pain in what? It went away. It went away about 2-3 days ago, but holy shit. Okay. It says the flow through the foramen magnum is restricted. As that passage becomes smaller and smaller, energies in the occipital bones will cease, and then they will call loudly for your attention. So the wisdom here, based on the energy and the information that I've shared with you, it says that you're connected to the dreaming. It is the part of the multidimensional universe that you cannot see, but you are always participating in, from which you are being informed, and to which you are contributing information about yourself, about the world, about your belief system. Again, the roots. Like, maybe the card should, in a way, be like this. Let me see that without the light reflecting too horribly. Do you understand that? because the dreaming is the head, the crown, and this head is crowned. If you see that there, crowned in greenery. It says the dreaming is collective and personal. It can be both deeply destructive and incredibly restorative. There's no agenda to the dreaming. You simply exist in relation with it. And you receive the medicine you need from this place, and in turn, you contribute your own medicine. So again, there is that cyclical recycling energy of giving and taking, and reflection and mirroring, as to you take what you need and it gives what you need, and in return you give it what you've got. Do you see this back and forth? And that's why it's important. Woo! That is why it is important about what you are thinking, brain, skull, and how that is connected to the roots, the spine. Oh my gosh. The spine. Because this, look. Let me keep going. It says you cannot see what comes forth from this realm, but venturing within it doesn't need to be scary. There's an entire rich world living in these parts of yourself that is waiting to be reclaimed and brought to wholeness. You can look at them, accept them, love them, and yes, even find delight and pleasure in them. Cozying up to these depths is restorative and shining a light. And there's light, and there's some type of illumination back here. And the moon itself is light. On what has been kept here will unlock more than you can imagine. In the dreaming, you have permission to be with the wholeness of your humanity. And it's funny, I'll tell you right now. Before there was a while where I couldn't sleep. I couldn't get good sleep. I just could not get good rest. And now I look forward to sleeping. I get so much revelation in my dreams, so much insight, so much answers. I think sometimes if we shift what we're participating in during the day, the conversations we're having, what we're watching, we elevate our mood. We look forward to receiving and getting answers and insight and revelation to any situations that we're experiencing. Like, sleep is such a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place. Oh my goodness. So the questions from this book are, do you recall your dreams? Do you have is there a practice that you're called to implement so that you can receive the wisdom that shows up in your dreams? How can you enhance, or if you don't have one, establish or at least become more aware of the connection between your subconscious self that might show up in your dreams? Are there things that you're doing in your dreams that you want to do that you're not doing in real life? If so, this is me now. If so, what is it? What is blocking you? And where does that need, desire, want come from? Okay. And what is it? One of the questions here is, what do you want to seed into the collective dreaming, and what do you want to receive from it? And we talked about this being cyclical, but at the beginning of the reading, I also talked about this being a seed being planted, needing the right environment for growth. In the Bible, it talks about a sower of seeds, right? That's why they say, don't cast your pearls before swine. Like, don't waste your wisdom, your essence, your goodness, your worth, your value on pigs, because they are not worthy. The other parable in the Bible is about sowing seed, and you can sow your seed on rocky ground, or you could sow your seed in moist, nurturing, healthy soil where there will be an abundance of growth. And I already talked about in this growth thing how how the willow tree starts off not looking anything like how great they are meant to eventually become. Oh, goodness. Okay, I want to show you something maybe. Okay, so in this book, just so you understand where the occipital is, so this is it here, and it's dreaming, and so it's right there at the back of your head where it's connected to the spine. Do you see that? So occipital, this is it here, and that's where the spine goes up in the base of it. Let me take this for a second. All right, next card is about refining ankles. So interesting. So that was 60, right? Which reduces to a 6, which is Lovers and Major Arcana. 5 is change. This Lovers generally could be romantic, could be business related. It can be about really making a decision. So there's some decisions you have. There's some decisions you have to make about the change that's coming in your life and the way in which you want to grow and how you're going to move forward and how you're going to utilize the time, whether you believe time is illusion or not, irrelevant. How are you going to utilize the resources that you have in hand to facilitate your growth? There we go. I'm going to PQRS, refine. Refine. Wow. Okay. Let me just check something. D. That's why. DE. Yeah, because it was on page 60. Okay, so again, wow. This refining is on page 104. Reduce 4 and 1 is 5. Again, Hierophant energy. That means being an authority in your life. Again, reducing to change. Refinement is change. That's an attunement. Getting very careful, detail-oriented, looking at things. Maybe it's a little bit sandpaper on, the edge of something, right? Refining. It says here you're designed with the spaciousness to be meticulous, to walk your path with an embodied precision that knows you are never off purpose. I just finished telling you 5 and 5 Hierophant, walking with authority. 5 and 5 is 10, signifying 10, the ending of something, down to the 1, which is the beginning of something, which is newness. Do you understand this reading? Do you understand that? There's going to be a new way of thinking and a new way of acting. Because what you were holding on to is shifting and something new is being birthed. And there was a level of patience that was required from you in order for you to have this to happen. And along the way, you might have felt that, my God, this is not what I wanted or where things should have been. But in every step you take, so 2 songs come to mind, Order My Steps, and the other one is I'm Walking by Mary Mary. But your steps are ordered. None of this is by happenstance. Where you have been planted is not by happenstance at all. At all. There is purpose in your growth. There is purpose in your dreams. And your dreams help to refine the way and the direction in which you are growing. This is what you need to understand for this new moon today. New moon in Leo. Let me do something here. Pretty sure Leo represents the Sun card. Sun card is about self, right? Sun is about self. Oops. Give me a second here. This is important. What time is it? Oh, I gotta go. Sun. Really, it's all the way at the end. Okay, Sun and Leo. This is another beautiful deck, but I'll do a review on this later. All right. Yeah, Leo. Oh, you can't see that. Let's push that up there. Hi Mila. Hi Mila. Hi. Come here. Up. Yeah, good girl. Yeah. All right. So Leo is about self-confidence, loyalty, and creativity. And the Sun is about self-expression and embodying truth. Do you see that? This is the time for you to look within and to be focused on your own excavation and self-growth. And in order to do that truthfully, you need to look at yourself. You need to allow yourself the creativity and the space to go deep within your dreams and to travel. You need to allow yourself to envision the life that you want. You have to be willing to refine aspects in your life that will not prevent your own growth, because you're meant to shine. You are meant to shine. And this loyalty is a loyalty, as far as I'm concerned, to yourself first. And by being loyal to yourself first, you will have no other option but to express yourself truthfully. Okay, I'm done. Let me get back to the book. So, when you're in balance, it is assured, trust, and deliberate. When you're out of balance, you're unstable and you're confused. Okay? So it says that the ankle joint is formed where the tibia and the fibula of the lower leg comes together. You understand that? There's two bones that run down your leg. Let's call it inner and outer. They then join at the ankle bone. So let me see if I can show you so that you know. Where is it? Do they have it here? They've got the tibia there. Why are they not showing the fibula? Anyway. Okay, here you go. This right here. Can you see that? Tibia and fibia. And it stands for co-creation? Woo! Tibia and fibia is co-creation. Lord of mercy. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to read this and I got to dash. I don't know if there'll be more to it. If I feel that I'm led to give you more, I'll give you more. But I'm going to read this and then I'm going to stop here for the time being. Okay, so the ankle joint is formed where the tibia and fibia of the lower leg. Okay. Co-creation into refinement. Do you understand that? Co-creation. Creating together. The ankle is the refinement. So there is the tibia, there is the fibia, and they co-create and they fuse, if you will, or they merge into the ankle, which is where you refine. So now you are in the process of refining your co-creation, your creation with the heavenlies, your creation with the earthly. Do you get that? It's a synovial joint, and the ankle has a joint cavity filled with synovial fluid, which separates and lubricates the cartilage-covered bones. If it doesn't, then you're going to have friction. That's why you get pain, okay? The ankle functions as a hinge-type joint, permitting flexion in two directions and providing shock absorption from the heel. Incredible. So do you understand that it's kind of floating in a fluid? So that every time that you walk, right, the jarring, let's call it bounce back, or the nature of the reflection of gravity once your foot hits. Imagine every time that you walked, you felt this. You wouldn't like that. That's why there's a fluid in there to assist with the absorption. Okay. So this is where two water elements, co-creative bones, meet a transmuting fire bone. The energy is grounded by the earthly calcaneus underneath, but directly at the ankle. There are only water, air, and fire. These three elements provide you with information about how energy moves in this joint. The air, to me, I'm just saying, is the suspension of it. The fire is the hitting, and the water is that liquid, right? So when, let's see what it says. When the energy of water, oh no, sorry, Mila, it was me. I was knocking. It was me. When the energy of water and fire are balanced, the space in ankles creates steam, which acts as an energetic propulsive. Too much water. And remember, we started with growth. Growth was saying, it was telling you to take action. I'm sure. Yes. Oh my gosh. About getting unstuck, right? And taking action. I can't take this reading. All right. Too much water or a flood of energy from the paired tibia and fibula can energetically drown the transmuting potential in the talus. Talus being that ankle joint, okay? This tends to happen when you're focused on activating or receiving and energetically not allowing the space to see whether or not it's correct for you. There's a requirement on you to learn to be discerning, and that is why this card is called refinement. You have to assess the situation. Even though the ankle is far from the core of the body, its role is to make simple the complexity of your energetic fingerprint. It's always refining your movement according to the sum total of your energy. So the wisdom here is you get to be deliberate, precise, and specific with the energy you're activating both on this planet and in multi-dimensional universes. So hear this growth. That is your action. Like, in all honesty, whether you want to or not, the change is constant. So you can accept that change is happening or you can fight it. And I've heard, and I agree with the fact that pain is because we refuse to accept things as they are. Pain is non-acceptance. So you can either grow, let's say, less painfully or incredibly painfully. It's up to you. You get to be intentional, purposeful, and conscious with the support you call in and receive from the multitudes of beings and energies held here to support you. And remember, I talked to you about this dreaming, this cooperation amongst the three bones in the occipital, right, on this dreaming card, about how they all have to work together. So where you are, you're going to get support that reflects where you are. If you're growing and moving in positive directions, that support will come because you're putting out that energetic call. And if you're doing the opposite, that support will come, and it will simply help to assist in reinforcing any negative thoughts that you have about yourself or your self-doubt. And this is why you get dreams and your answers that allow you to help with your growth, so that you understand what you are co-creating and hatching and bringing forward. Because this right now, this season is about you. It is about you. It is about your self-perception. How loyal are you going to be to your dreams, to your own personal growth, to the refinement that needs to take place? Are you willing to be in alignment? All right. It says, you are designed with the spaciousness and capacity to be this meticulous, to walk your path with an embodied precision that knows you are never off purpose. But you require space to refine. You cannot continue to move in the same ways or receive support from the same places, see? While adjusting the trajectory of your life. In this space, you can pause, choose, and be extremely clear about the direction that you move in. And so we go back to this about the soil that you're holding on to and the way in which your roots are going in the direction, and what you once grasped onto and held onto no longer serves you, because it talked about how your roots grow and then they stop, they get steady, and then they grow again. Same thing. So that might mean some people in your life are going to be shifting. The relationships that you have are going to be shifting. I said this at the top of the message, okay? Your relationships, how you see yourself, the way you think, how you move, how you handle your money, your fitness, the words that come out of your mouth, who you spend time with, the things that you watch, the music that you listen to. All those things are feeding into your root structure, which is your communication structure, which feeds you. So what kind of willow tree do you want to be? You want to be a weak sapling forever? Or do you want to become grand and robust? And that requires the three bones to work together, ideally harmoniously. Because in that instance, there's a co-creation that's going on here that you're required to refine. Because it's all meant to benefit you. And so you have to be careful with the direction that you're moving into now. I already mentioned 5 years. Someone's been sitting in something for 5 years. You're about to come out. You're about to come out. Are there things that you're doing? So some questions here. Are there things that you're doing that are not good for you that you know? Also, do a body check. How do your ankles actually feel? Like, I check in with my body. When my body's feeling a bit sluggish, I start, toes, are you okay? What's going on? And I move them around. Anything I need to know. Like, tune into your body. We are not just, skin traveling around the earth, eh? That's not what we are. You got to check in with yourself energetically to see what's going on in your body. Are you being intentional and purposeful? Is your conscious and subconscious communicating in a way in which you are aware? Because that meets in your dreams. Your conscious and your subconscious meet in your dreams. I encourage you to start creating a sleep ritual to prepare yourself for bed. Buy new sheets. Get some new incense or some kind of scent that you like. Let your window be open a crack. Have some water beside your bed. Ask yourself some questions before you go to bed and see what dreams reveal themselves, what answers come to you over the next few days. And the other question, because I told you, where was it? It was this card. It was on page 60. And I reduced that to 6, which is a lover's card, which is choice and decision. What choices are you making that are loving towards you? I feel that I could go further, but I must stop. I'm actually going to stop. I think this is enough for you to absorb, to take in, to assess, to bring to the fore. Wow. I'm hearing one more card. You know what? Here. We'll do this. We'll do some. Shh. Shh. Oh, you got her going. All right, I'm going to give you a self-care card. Self-care. Can I get a card that aligns with this reading for the subscriber so that something, an action they can take to assist them in their growth process, to assist them in aligning with truth and giving them self-confidence and a way to express themselves? Well, that's too many. No, that's too many. Thank you so much for giving us the right card at this time for this reading. What a beautiful reading. What a beautiful reading. I thank you so much for this. Change is on the horizon. There's endings and new beginnings. The sun is out. It is about love for self. It is about your own personal illumination and working to come together inside of who you are. The me, myself, and I. Okay? Can I please? That's still a lot. Okay, I'm going to tell you this. Pick two of these cards. So the first one is surprise. Release your expectations and be open to surprise. Okay? Possibility. This is crazy. Focus your attention on what could go right. When you learn to imagine the best case scenario, you get to enjoy and experience twice. This is peace. Just because some people are fueled by drama doesn't mean you have to attend the performance. Make your life a drama-free zone. So this has to, you know what? I'm going to do this. This one definitely has to do with refinement and the removing of people. Surprise, I feel that's in your dreams. The possibility is your growth, okay? This one about pampering. Self-care is a necessity, not a luxury. I'm going to put that here. This one says priorities. The quality of your life is determined by how you spend your time. Make sure your schedule reflects what you want. We're going to put that over here with refinement, okay? This one, look at that energy. Stop trying to please everyone. Everyone is a whole lot of people. Protect your energy. I would put here embody truth and self-expression. And the last one, release. Sometimes the best way to grow is to simply let go. We're putting that over there. This reading is done now. This reading is done. I pray it was a blessing to you. It certainly was for me. I would appreciate it if you would get these messages to people that you feel need them. I'll say this to you. Sometimes we ask for help, and God sends us all sorts of assistance. A buoy, a life jacket, a speedboat, a submarine, a yacht, and we fail to receive them. God is not textbook. God shows up in many ways, many forms, many facets. And this is a message for somebody who needs it. Don't be caught up in the method. Let them get the message because it would be helpful to them. But I gotta go. I gotta make it to downtown in like half an hour. See you later. Peace. Oh yeah. Be blessed and be a blessing.